Hey guys, me again. So today we've realised that, lately we've spent so much time in the office making stuff for you guys that we haven't actually been out for a fish ourselves for ages. So I decided to put the kayak up on the roof. We're going to go head down to the local beach, put it out there and see if we can find some squid and possibly a snook as well. So keep an eye out. Hopefully it's a good session for you. Cheers. Alright, here we go. So the water actually looks really good. It's reasonably flat. It is low tide, but that's fine. We're going to fish it anyway because today's forecast is about 40 degrees Celsius. So it's currently 8 o'clock in the morning. If we're out here too late, obviously that heat's going to rise up. That's about 100 degrees, over 100 degrees Fahrenheit for you Americans out there. So it's going to be a bit of a sizzler, and I don't really want to be out there during it. So we're going to get out there now. Even on low tide, we should at least find a couple of squid, I reckon. So we'll see how we go. Alright, so just a quick snapshot of our setup. So obviously we've got the kayak with our paddle. We've got our paddle leash, really important so that doesn't go overboard and we get stuck out there. Attached to that I've got my Swivel's fish measure, just in case we do find anything that needs measuring. Squid here in South Australia don't require any sort of measuring, but we're just going to make sure we adhere to bag limits. Of course we've got our PFD. This is one of those inflatable ones, so really good on the kayak. They're not big and cumbersome, and you just pull that little red tab there if you need to, and the little gas chamber inflates, and obviously that's what keeps you buoyant. Just got a few spare lures and stuff in a little box. Got our landing net. These ones are really handy for kayaks, guys. Couple of rods. So this one's set up with a squid jag. Looks like a little Yozuri flash dancer on that one, and then this one here we've got set up with a Rapala husky jerk for hopefully just in case there's a few snook kicking around. So see how we go. So the water's actually very clear here, which should hopefully work in our favour. I'm not sure if you guys can see that on the camera though. I'll see if I can get it a little bit closer. So the reason why we picked this spot is obviously you can see all the weed there. Squid love this sort of stuff, really patchy. The sand attracts the whiting, which is a main food source for the squid, and then the weed allows the squid to breed and hide, and they just tend to really sort of flock to these areas. So yeah. So just remember my phone's actually waterproof, so what we might do is stick it in and show you guys what we were talking about with the weed. Just bear with me. Hopefully that's a little bit better for you. Alright, here we go. Squid number 1 on the board. Sorry guys, I haven't got the GoPro, so I can't film while I net him, but we got one down. Hopefully a couple more before we head back in. Actually, I thought I'd show you a really good way to dispatch these. We actually left our kill spike at home, but another good way to dispatch them is you can actually choke them out. So you find that if you grab them behind the neck here, alright, and just aim them down and just give them a bit of a squeeze, what tends to happen in a minute is they essentially choke. Now I just can't seem to get a good grip without taking his head off. There you go. So you can see how he's gone white. It's an instant kill. It's humane. They don't really feel anything. So, and of course it also helps preserve the flesh of the squid for eating quality. So yeah, just one thing, if you don't have a kill spikes are obviously great, but if you don't have one of those, just by grabbing behind the head here and just choking them, when they go and take that last sort of oomph trying to squeeze out their ink or whatever, it actually dispatches them. So cool. There's number 2 on the board. So they're not massive squid today. In this area we do normally get them up to about 4 times the size of this, but they're still edible and they're still delicious. So looks like we might actually have some dinner tonight. Hey guys, so yeah, quick little session on the kayak. We did find a couple of squid, as you saw and as you can see there. Not the most productive session we've had around here, so it's not hard in this location to find maybe a dozen squid in an hour. Today we did have the clear water in our favour, but being low tide,
You know, it's not the most productive time to go for these guys. You have to go out a little bit further to find them as well. We would have liked to have stayed out there a little bit longer. We were only out there for about 25 to 30 minutes. But in that time we went through two litres of water. Like I said, it is just ridiculously hot today. It's about 40 degrees Celsius or just over 100 degrees Fahrenheit, so that's all good. And we can, you know, we normally fish in that. It's just when you're on the kayak and the sun hits that water and bounces back at you, it's unbearable. So we're going to go home, we're going to clean up these squid, and hopefully have some, well, we are going to have some for dinner. So yeah, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Feel free to hit the like button. In the famous words of Mr. Rex Hunt, yibbida yibbida, that's all folks.